Hello, welcome. Let us discuss and understand what is type coercion in JavaScript. Type coercion means JavaScript converting the one data type to another data type. There are mainly two categories of type coercion. One is implicit coercion or a automatic coercion. Another one is explicit or a manual coercion. Let me open the Visual Studio Code and let us start understanding it practically. Let me create one JavaScript file. Let me call it as type coercion.js. Type coercion means JavaScript converting one data type to another. Type coercion means JavaScript converting one data type to another data type. There are two types of type coercion. One is implicit coercion or automatic. Second one is explicit coercion or manual. Explicit conversion or a manual conversion means here you will convert, or a developer, right? Let us understand the implicit coercion first. For example, if I declare, let us say, let result equal to 5 plus, I will declare a string here. Within the string, I will declare a number, that is 10. Now what will happen is, since there is a string here, since 10 is a string, 5 is also will be converted to string. So if I print this result, console.log result, it should print here concatenation 510 like this. Node type coercion.js. You can see here result is printed as 510. Similarly, if I do it other way around, 5 plus 10, still it will print a 510. I will call it as result 1. If I print this console.log result 1, if I run this again, see it is also printing 510. It means whenever you do addition of number plus string, it will provide the output as a string, right? Here, in this case, 5 is automatically converted to string and gets added to 10, right? Similarly, here 10 is automatically converted to string. It gets added to 5, which is already string, right? So in this way, if you add a number plus string, it will be a string output. Example 1. Similarly, another example is if I add a boolean plus number, it will be, output will be number. For example, let a equal to true plus 1. Here true will be considered as 1. So what it will become is 1 plus 1. It will become 2. Console.log, if I print a, it will print the answer as 2 here. Let us run and verify this. See here, output is 2. Here, true is automatically converted to number. That is a boolean value, right? True is a boolean value here, but it's automatically converted to number. Similarly, if I use let b equal to false plus 1, here false will be converted to 0 and plus 1, it will become 1. If I print b now, it will be printing 1. Console.log b. If I run this now, you can see here output is 1. Similarly, if I do minus here, true minus 1, what will happen? True is 1 and minus 1, it will be 0. If I print this one now, console.log c. If I run this now, this answer for c should be 0, right? Let me run this. You can see here, it is printing 0 here. Let us understand with another example. Example 3. Here, if I use a loose equality, that is double equal to, then also type conversion will happen. For example, if I print console.log, I will say number 5 equal to string 5. Number 5 equal to string 5. If you do loose equality, it will print true. For example, if I run this now, you can see true. But if you do this with triple equal, console.log 5 equal to, if I use triple equal to here, it will display false here. This does not allow type conversion here. When you use triple equal to, it does not allow type coercion here. That is why here it will display the output as false, because string 5 is not equal to number 5. Let me clear and run this again. See, it is displaying false here. When you use operators like plus, minus, equal, when you use operators like plus, minus, equal, JS does automatic type coercion, right? We have understood that with these three different examples. Now let us discuss about explicit coercion or a manual coercion. That is what we will convert it explicitly. Console.log, let me print a separator line here. So now let us understand about explicit or a manual coercion. It is a forceful conversion using functions. Explicit conversion means it is a forceful conversion using functions. For example, we can use a string function. Let us say let num equal to 10. Then I can forcefully convert this number to string using string of num, right? I can print this console.log string of num. If I run this now, you can see it is printed 10 here. 10 is a string here. Here, if I print this without converting, you can see the color is different here in output, right? And here this 10 is a string and this 10 is a number. For better understanding, what we can do is, what I will do is, let num1 equal to string of num, right? Then I can print the type of each of this num and num1. Console.log type of num. Type of num should be a number. And similarly, console.log type of num1. Num1 we have already converted to string, so it should display as a string. Let us run this and verify. You can see here it is displaying number. This is number. This num is number, but this num is string, because we have explicitly converted this num to string here, right? In this way, you can do the explicit or a forceful conversion. Example 1. Similarly, example 2, using Boolean, you convert to Boolean. For example, console.log of 0, it will display 0 here. If I do console.log Boolean of 0, 0 is explicitly converted here to Boolean. It should display here Boolean. That is false here. Value should be false. For 0, Boolean value will be false. If I run this now, you can see here it is displaying false here. But this is 0, as it is displayed. But here 0 is forcefully converted to Boolean. Here 0 is displayed as it is, there is no conversion. Here we are using a Boolean. 0 is forcefully converted to Boolean, and that Boolean value of 0 is false. If you provide any value, for example, console.log Boolean of some string, hello, this will display as a true, because any string is provided to Boolean, it will be considered as true value. If you provide any string, to the Boolean function, it will be converted as true. If I run this now, you can see it is displaying true here, right? This line. Whenever you provide a 0 or a empty string or a null or undefined or not a number or false, all these are falsy values. Whenever you convert these values to Boolean, it will be converted as false. That is why these are called falsy values. If you do Boolean of null, it will be converted to false. For example, console.log, I do Boolean of null, it will display false. Let us run this and verify. See, you can see here, it is displayed false here. This is also explicit conversion using Boolean function. In your program, when you need to do type coercion, in your program, when you need to do type coercion, better to follow or use explicit coercion. In your program, when you need to do type coercion, better to follow or use a explicit coercion, because it avoids a confusion for you. You know that we are doing a type conversion. When the implicit coercion happens, you may not identify that easily when you are debugging a program. So this is a best practice, which is to use a explicit coercion whenever you need to do type coercion. So in this lecture, we have understood about type coercion, that is JavaScript converting one data type to another. There are two types of type coercions. One is implicit or automatic. Another one is explicit or a manual. Here you will convert using functions. So we have understood each of this type coercion with multiple examples. Thank you for watching.